Today we are learning about Chapter 2, Lesson 5, which can be found on pages 105 through 108 in your textbook and online. Our objective is I can make a table to help solve math problems. Question 1. After reading a word problem, what question should I ask myself? Question 2. After finishing the problem, what should I always ask myself? Okay, let's watch this video on how to make a table.
In this video, we're going to take a look at the problem-solving strategy, make a table. So, as with any word problem, the first thing you want to do is to identify the question. What are you being asked? The next thing you want to do is develop a plan. So the strategy or plan that we're going to use today is to make a table. You want to go ahead and solve the problem, carry out your plan, and the most important part is to verify your answer. Does it answer the question, and does it make sense? So the easiest way to do this is to take a look at a problem here. Marcus ran a lemonade stand for 5 days. On the first day, he made $5. Every day after that, he made $2 more than the previous day. How much money did Marcus make in all after 5 days? So the first thing I want to do is identify the question. What are we being asked? And the question is, how much money did Marcus make at its lemonade stand after 5 days? Now I'm going to use a table to organize this information. So he had his lemonade stand for 5 days. I'm going to go ahead and make a table. And I'm going to have days here. And this is money made. So on the first day of his lemonade stand, Marcus made $5. And then every day after that, he made an additional $2. So on the second day, his profits went up $2. He made $7. Went up $2 here, he made $9. Went up $2 the next day, he made $11. And went up $2 on the final day, he made $13 on day 5. Now this question is a little bit tricky because it's not asking how much money did he make on the 5th day. It's asking how much money did he make in all after the 5 days. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to take these amounts and add them up. So over here on the side, I'm going to take 13, 11, 9, 7, and 5. And actually, to add these quickly, what I'm going to do is I see that if I combine these two numbers, I get 20. If I combine these two numbers, I get 20. 20 and 20 is 40. Plus 5 is 45. $45, that's our answer. So Marcus, for the week in all, made $45. And that's how you can use the strategy, make a table, in solving a problem.
Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this strategy in your book. So on page 105, it talks about the problem-solving strategy. It kind of gives different steps in the video, but it's basically the same thing. So it gives you the steps. Number 1, understand. So what facts do you know? That's like in the video it was saying, what is the question? What are they asking? What facts do you know and what do you need to find? So that's kind of breaking it down if it's a 2-part question like the video showed. And here it says, okay, so what facts do we need to know for this problem? We need to know 63 out of every blank households owned at least one pet. And we also need to find how many households out of 10,000 owned at least one pet. So then you have to make a plan. So in this case, our plan is going to be to use our strategy of making a table. So then we're going to solve it. So I'll go ahead and fill in this table. Okay, so here, they're organizing the information in the problem. So it's starting with this column is total number of households, and this is number of households owning at least one pet. So they gave us that there were 63 out of 100 households that owned one pet in a recent year. So that's organized here, 63 and 100 households. So then we have to figure out how many out of 10,000. So let's just bump it up to 1,000. So times 10, 100 times 10 is 1,000. 63 times 10, 630. Then do the same thing again, times 10, and we get 10,000 households, 6,300 number of households owning at least one pet. So that's our estimate. So about 6,300 out of 10,000 households owned at least one pet. based on the information they gave us. So our last step is to check. You have to think about, is your answer reasonable, and explain. So you have to use your mental math to multiply here. Use that power of 10 strategy that we talked about. 63 times 100, did it work? And check your answer that way. And there's another example for you on page 109. In this problem, it's talking about every 10 minutes, 160 passengers can ride this Blackstone roller coaster. So how many people can ride it in 60 minutes? So first thing, what do we know and what do we need to find out? Well, we know 160 ride every 10 minutes, and we need to find out the number of people that can ride it in 60 minutes. So we can make a table to figure this out. So this table is a horizontal table, so it's different than the one we just talked about, but it's similar to the one in the video. So same thing here, we're looking at that pattern, we're trying to figure it out. They organized it into minutes and passengers. They got all the way to 60 minutes, and they found out it was 960 passengers. Then you have to check it, your last step. Is it reasonable? We have to estimate. So in this case, they rounded 160 to the nearest 100, which would be 200. It was about 1,000 people. So you also have to think about, is that logical that 1,000 people could ride this roller coaster in 60 minutes? So make sure you're working through all of those steps. All right, so let's look back at these questions. I think they're pretty clear in your textbook on those pages and in that video. So just look back and answer questions 1 and 2.